Oh, hi, welcome to Split Ends. And I'm here on my own today. Relief, I'm here on my own. No Olga. No, seriously, she's at a fancy wedding, her best mate's wedding. So she's already been in for a hair done this morning, of course. But today I've got something really special and I can't wait to show you who it is. It's Tara, she's a ballerina from the Royal Ballet, and her daughter Chloé. And I'm going to be doing something so special with their hair. You've got to watch this.
Split Ends with Andrew and Olga. A quick consultation.
So, Split Ends viewers, there are some days in the salon where I get the opportunity to meet amazing people and have amazing conversations. Today's going to be one of them because I'm working today with a friend, somebody who's special to my dear heart. This is Tara. She's a ballerina from the Royal Ballet. And this is Chloé, her daughter. And actually, I cut both of their hair 3 years ago for an amazing charity called the Little Princess Trust. And today, both of these beautiful locks are going to be cut off again to donate to the charity to make wigs for children that have lost their hair through cancer treatment. So thank you, Tara. Thank you, Chloé. So tell me a little bit about what you're thinking for your hair first, Tara.
I think I want to cut as much as possible because I want to give as much as I can for Little Princess Trust. They love donations greater than 12 inches. So I'm thinking I can do that. You know, that's what's in demand. And I think Chloé's keen on the same.
She really?
Yeah.
With all this hair?
I know.
She's keen on the same?
Yes.
Okay, so I think decision made.
Okay.
I think the decision made was for me and Tara a long time ago, was when we first met as ambassadors for the Little Princess Trust.
Your hair story.
So Tara, I mean, it's great to have you back in the salon chair. I mean, it's 3 years since I last cut it when I cut it for Little Princess Trust.
Exactly.
At the Opera House, didn't I?
Last time I was in your salon.
In your salon, so the time before.
Time before was in the Opera House. This is the third time now.
In your dressing room,
in my dressing room, yeah.
And tell me kind of, I always ask people on the show, kind of tell me about your split ends. But I'm actually more bothered about your split life than your split ends because they're going to go. Yeah, they are going to go. So tell me a little bit about your split life. I mean, busy working mum, ballerina throughout your career.
Yeah.
And stunning beauty as well, by the way.
Oh, my goodness.
So tell me about how being a ballerina and your hair has worked together.
It's funny, I do feel like I have a bit of a double life sometimes. Just like, it's so different being a mom at home and then being whatever character I am on stage.
Yeah.
But I think growing up and as a dancer, my hair, it was just so important that it be tidy and tied back.
Right.
And almost kind of an afterthought.
Right.
Just because it had to be out of the way. So in a bun, whatever, my mom would always do these lovely intricate braids and stuff, which I tried to do with Chloé now. But yeah, for ballet, it had to be out of the way.
And for ballet, it had to be out of the way. But then what happened in kind of your other life, playtime and fun time away from work?
Yeah.
Did you always feel like you had to be quite neat like that as well with your hair?
No. Well, then I wanted the opposite. But I think my problem with my hair is that it's very flat. See, like there's no body. I always wanted body. So I have this trick that I learned when I was a dancer.
What was it?
I think it happened by accident because when I was younger, our sort of wig technicians, they would help us with our hair. So they would do a wrap, they would do the pin curls.
Right.
And one day, we called them wiggies at the Opera House. Wiggy was doing my hair and she did pin curls everywhere, all around my head, because the wig needed to really be gripped in to my head. Right. I was going to be lots of moving around and stuff. So anyways, did the show, all of that, great. Took out my hair and it was curly.
And like Rapunzel
was
kind of waves.
It. Yes.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, next time I need to, I want nice hair and I want to feel good. I need to have this body. I want to have these curls, and I brushed it out and then it was like amazing. I loved it.
It is a bit sexy when it's all a bit tousled and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I really wanted that. But then I was like, I can't be in pin curls like when I'm dancing, like in rehearsals and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I discovered this way that I do pin curls. Yeah.
Right.
So like 2 bobby pins for every curl.
Yeah.
All around my head. And then I put a hairnet. You're gonna think I'm so weird. And then I put a hairnet over it.
Right.
Then I take out the pins.
Mm-hmm.
Then I kind of shape it into a bun.
Do you really?
Yeah. So then I kind of get by as having a bun in my head.
And did you work that out yourself, or did Wiggy teach you how to do that?
Well, that shifting it into a bun, I kind of worked out.
Right.
Because I was like, how can I make this work when I have to be in a bun all day?
Yeah.
I don't want to take my hair out and then I have, that elastic crease and it just looks flat again.
Yeah.
So
and you mentioned they're wearing wigs for work as a ballerina.
Yeah.
What's the most outrageous or extreme wig that you've ever had to wear as a ballerina?
It's a recent one, actually.
Okay.
The character's called the Madame. It's from a ballet called Manon.
Okay.
And she kind of runs this brothel.
Right.
Her costume is massive. So much jewelry, all these rings, all of that. So you kind of have to have the hair to match it.
Right.
The wig is like double the size of my head this way.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm so interested in hair and wigs and all that. And I asked them, how do you do this?
Yeah.
There's a cage. They've
Yes,
got the
right,
netting and all of that.
Yeah.
And then there's a cage and then it's built up on top of that.
Yeah, okay.
But all human, real hair to do this. And
but
it's
then,
just
I mean, doing movement and things with something so exaggerated.
This is the trickiest part because
you must have felt like you're going to topple over at any time.
When I was backstage waiting for like my next entrance, I would kind of be like just holding my head up for a bit.
Cool. But listen, tell us, I mean, how did ballet start for you?
Oh, it started for me. It was something to do. My mom put me in it as something to do.
Oh.
And I loved it. So I just kind of stuck with it.
Something to do because you were a naughty child?
No. Just like in a little activity. Like, Chloe's trying ballet. She's trying gymnastics. So ballet was one of the things. And I just loved it. I loved the discipline. I loved the costumes. I loved all of that. And then, talking about hair, I say it has to be out of the way for ballet. But actually, there's some beautiful updos that you can do for like a classical look. Yeah. And when you go on stage, though, it's one of the most important things. It makes the character.
Of course, it adds to the character, doesn't it? And you become the character.
Exactly.
But that's kind of part of your hair story.
Yeah.
I've been very privileged to sit in the wings on stage at the Opera House and see you perform. Yeah. And see that energy as the ballerinas, boys and girls, come off stage and that exhaustion. Yeah. And then seconds later go straight back on stage. Yeah. How do you cope with all that? I mean, the energy levels are incredible. You're athletes.
Yeah. No, I mean, you get used to it. You start young, you do little shows. Once you get into a company, you're in, the more core roles, maybe even like standing roles. So you slowly adapt. Yeah. But then it becomes exactly that. When you've got a lot to do in a ballet in a production, you go on stage, you give it your all. As soon as you get to the wings, recovery.
Yeah. But
until
then
you need to go back out.
Straight back out like this. It's incredible.
Exactly.
And a whole working life as a ballerina. Where are you at now? What's happening next?
So I'm not a full-time dancer anymore. I'm just doing character roles, which means I don't have to do it's hard training to keep in shape, to stay at that high peak level. Yeah. So now I'm doing more private coaching. So I can sort of pass on, and I like to do it on a one-to-one basis because then I can really get to know someone and really help them. Yeah. But I'm still doing character roles at the Opera House.
That's amazing.
And I love that.
Can I come and see another show soon?
Absolutely.
Yeah, my husband and I loved it when we came to see the Nutcracker at Christmas.
Absolutely.
Therapy.
But tell me as well, so years of training, years of performance, nighttime performance, matinees, kind of nutrition and diet, you've had to be really careful about how to feed your body. Yeah. How have you dealt with your mental well-being around all that? Because it must be quite a harsh life. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's physically the hours, like 13 hours a day sometimes when we have a show. Yeah, 13 hours a day. Yeah, it's long. It's long. But then, of course, mentally, you feel like you don't have a life outside of the Opera House. Yeah. Which, for some people, it's the dream.
But I think after, I was a dancer full time for 20 years.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of had to make the decision. Do I, want to see my girls growing up? I've got 2 girls now. Or do I want to continue? And I felt like I'd done my time.
Yeah.
And it was hard to cope mentally and physically. But I'm really happy with what I did and what I can still do.
How did you cope with it?
How did I cope with it?
How did you mentally, emotionally cope with that intensity?
Yeah, I think when it's in the downtimes, when we have breaks before a show, when we're getting ready, putting our makeup on, getting our hair done, having fun.
Yeah.
Even on stage, we'll have fun.
Yeah. Do you like little cheeky looks at each other?
Absolutely, cheeky looks.
Yeah.
Depending on the role. If it was like a solo and it's a really hard one, you really have to focus. Absolutely not.
Yes, no.
Then you're so in that moment.
Yeah.
But if it's more of like a group number and it's quite a playful one and you're actually, the role you're playing is a friend or something. It's a bunch of friends. Then you can have little looks, little chats, and it's.
And I guess there's that thing as well. As a ballerina, kind of you learn how to control your breathing. Mm-hmm. And Olga and I talk about that on Split Ends with all of our guests. One of the biggest gifts of kind of mental health and great well-being is learning how to breathe and slow that breath down so you can think things through a little bit easier. Yeah. And on Split Ends we talk about well-being all the time. So that breathing thing must be a kind of a great tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think every day we start with a morning class. And in that time it's sort of like a meditation for me because I'm really just tuning into myself, not really thinking about the crazy mad drop off that I just had, or the long day ahead, the show in the evening. Yeah. It's I'm just really in that moment, seeing how my body feels, tuning into my breath, and just warming things up, getting ready for the day. Yeah. And I think that helps just to sort of ground me at the beginning of the day.
The treatment.
Brilliant, and I know I want you to ditch some dirt, a bit of gossip if you can. So when the ballerinas kind of finish after a major show in the evening, do they just go home and hang up their tutu, or do they take their tutu out and go around Soho?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Some do, some don't.
Yes. I think, there's a bit of both, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not quite the tutu that's been on stage. That's very precious, just like our wigs.
Yes.
So they must be, very delicately taken care of. But yeah, absolutely. And I did that. There's been nights where it's like, can't wait to go out and just, really let my hair loose.
So to speak. I think people would have a lot of assumptions about what it's like being a ballerina. And I've seen it. I've been backstage. I've been in front of a house. I've sat in the wings. I've met you outside as just you, not in character anymore. What's it really like to be a ballerina? At your level in particular?
Yeah. It's all an illusion.
It's all an illusion.
I mean, it's
so
funny.
Sorry, salon life. Jazz hands.
It's funny because after I had Chloé, I remember when I had to drop her off to the childminder for the first time. And I was going into work, going to the opera house, and it was like, what am I doing? I'm leaving my daughter and I'm going to work on myself. I felt like selfish. And kind of our whole day is about, making ourselves and, a collection of ourselves look good for the audience. So that really played on my mind a lot, and there was a lot of guilt. But then, but that was my old life as well, So as I did more, as I started rehearsing for certain ballets, I got back into it. But there's always that kind of at the back of my mind, like I could be and that led me to retiring as a full-time dancer. Because, the day to day, starting with class in the morning, rehearsing throughout the day, having a couple of hours before the show, but that's to eat, that's to do your makeup.
And eating can only be at a specific time?
Everyone's different. I'm kind of like a grazer, especially when I was dancing.
Right.
But you have that 2 hours before a show to do sort of whatever you want, but you got to be ready for the show at 7:30 or whatever it is. So you really have to plan your day, how you're going to eat, obviously what childcare is happening at home, all of that. But it's tiring. It's a long day, and I think mentally and physically, by the end of the day, it's like, You know,
Yeah.
what happened?
What happened? And like all of us, I guess, whatever job you're doing, there are minutes of your day when you are thinking about the mortgage and the credit card that you've got to pay. And
We're normal
do you
people
mean-
at the end of the day.
You're normal
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Do you know what? That is magic that you've said as a ballerina. You are a normal person.
Yeah, but it's like you said, you know, after a show, I've been like this the whole show and performing, all the makeup and the costume looking amazing.
Yeah.
It all comes off.
Yeah.
I put my coat on, I walk out the stage door, I get on the train, I go home. I'm a normal
Yeah.
person going home after work. Sorry to...
Shatter the illusion.
Aftercare.
We'll get everybody in Split Ends to check out your Insta because your Insta is amazing. I'm kind of addicted to it. I can't wait every day to see what's happening in your life. But I saw you in a hospital just recently.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So now that I have more free time, now that I'm not a full-time dancer with the Royal Ballet, I have time to not only teach and do these character roles, but I dance at Great Ormond Street Hospital. So I'm kind of one of the artists in residence. I'm the only ballerina there. So there are certain kids that are, you know, aware that there's a ballerina on the ward some days.
Wow.
And I get requested to go. And it's nice because, you know, I feel like they're the people who appreciate it the most and who need it the most. And I think that's the magic of ballet and dance.
Again, about well-being, dance is something that helps. You know, I know that if I'm feeling a bit down and if I have a bit of a jig around the dining room, table's quite big, so I can go for a while. It always lifts my spirits.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, obviously for some, they're too ill, they can't dance, but just to watch.
To watch.
You know, all
it plays
day
with
they're
their imagination and takes them away from where they are.
Exactly. And there's some, you know, we do little hand things, and for them just to, you know, move a little bit to the music.
I'm even doing that already.
There you go. There you
a
go.
little bit of time with you this morning. I'm kind of moving like a ballerina. Not at all.
You are. We'll do a little lesson later.
I'll do a lesson later.
Yes.
Okay, so in 2 words as well, I'm just going to put you on the spot here a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be talking about my clients, about you. And, you know, many of my clients, they've got daughters that want to be ballerinas. In 2 words, the best bit and the worst bit about being a ballerina.
Ooh. Okay, the best bit performing.
Yeah, because that's your love and passion.
The worst bit, the pain.
The pain.
Yeah.
The pain of tight buns, or
no, the physical pain. When I was younger, it was fine. I was able, I could. As I got older, sort of like into my 30s, and after having kids, it was like joints, pain, having scans. You've got osteoarthritis. What?
Have you?
Yeah. I've had art surgeries. Cartilage is depleted in my knee. Ankle has osteophytes. Like. And then when you're dancing and you continue after that, you know, I obviously got through a lot of injuries, a lot of scans, being told these things. And then after you dance, after knowing that, it's like, what am I doing to myself? You know? So, you know, another part of it.
And I guess as you mature and you get older, you emotionally, mentally and physically still want to dance because it's part of your soul, isn't it?
Yeah. It's hard to let go, but all these things led to my decision to, you know, cut down.
Cut down.
Cut down my dancing addiction.
Anyway, shall we do a little pirouette now?
Yes, go on.
How do I kind of show me how to be more graceful?
Yeah, nice soft fingers there.
Soft fingers.
Thumbs in. Never show your palms.
Okay, never show your palms.
No. Long fingers.
Long fingers.
Yes, but turn them in.
It's never going to happen. Let me
Shoulders down. No, you're good.
Shoulders down.
Yeah. Arms up.
Arms up.
Lovely. That's good. Good. I think that helps.
And then with my legs.
Oh, your leg. You're going to turn. There you go. Nice. Very good. Fast feet there.
Worst hair day ever.
So, Tara, I'm preparing your ponytails ready for the chop. While I'm doing that, has there been any mishaps on stage, kind of in performance or?
A few hair-related ones, actually.
What hair-related ones? What happened?
So there's the ballet Romeo and Juliet. We have to, as Montagues, we have to white out our eyebrows.
Right.
When I say white out, I mean like remove our eyebrows. At the time,
take them off?
Yeah, well,
Not with
make
makeup.
it look like we don't.
Okay,
So
right.
anyways,
Okay.
so you've got options. You can like put soap. What's that? Imperial leather. We like scratch it off, paste it on.
Does that work like that?
Yeah, that's my
I
preferred
might have a
method.
go.
No, why would you want to do that?
No, exactly.
And then you like, you put your foundation over top.
Right.
The other option is wax, and that's just so much harder to get out.
Yeah.
And that smooth it on, then put your foundation. So anyways, we were doing this filming for the ballet, because sometimes we film a performance and then it's put on DVD or it's streamed to the theaters.
Yes.
To movie theaters. So anyways, for when we do a filming, because there's going to be close-ups,
Yes.
we each had like bald caps put on.
Right.
So the eyebrows were done by like a proper professional makeup person.
Yeah.
Like taken out basically, and then the bald cap. And then we've got these like hats that go around our heads that are hollow in the back.
Right.
Fortunately, it wasn't for the filming when this mishap happened, but on another show, so we're bald, yeah. When we don't have it professionally done, it's stocking cap over a wrap.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then put the hat on, which is a big circle basically.
Yeah.
And then put this, we call it a bird's nest. Smack it in the middle. Is that what you'd call it?
Yeah.
Like a pre-made bun?
Yeah.
And anyways, there's this point in the ballet where we're very mad and we're doing these sort of hitch kicks and we're mad at these harlots running around because they're taking all our guys. And anyways, there's a little turn. You have to flick your head around and you're angry, so it's extra sharp. And this came off.
Did it? On you? Or...
Mine came off and it was like thrown at the harlots. So, oh my gosh. Like in that split second when I felt it like dislodge from my head.
Oh, you felt it going?
I felt it go. And then in that split second, that felt like an eternity.
Yeah.
And then I see it on the floor and I'm like,
Did you kick it?
No, it like flew. It was gone.
Into the audience.
I hope they didn't go to the audience.
Front row caught it. It's the memento of the Royal Ballet.
I know, right? Little souvenir for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's probably, and it was funny, it was embarrassing, it was panic, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble. It was so many feelings in that 1 second.
I bet. But the show went on.
Of course, it has to.
The show must go on.
It has to, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
And tell me, I mean, I think I know this story, but we met probably 5 years ago now as ambassadors for the Little Princess Trust.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the charity and its work?
So, I guess about 5 years ago, I can't remember quite what the conversation was, but me and my husband were talking about my hair, and I was like, well, I'm going to cut it. And he's like, you're never going to cut your hair.
Had he only ever known you with long hair?
Only ever known me as long hair. I had never had short hair. My
From being a
whole
little
life.
girl.
Yeah, always long hair. And I kind of wanted to prove him wrong, so I was like, I'm going to cut it.
I want to prove my husband wrong all the time.
So then I was like, but, I'm cutting all this hair. I wonder if I can, initially I thought, where do our wigs come from? How are they made? Real hair. Maybe I can make some money. Sell my hair.
Yeah.
But then in doing that and searching for that, I discovered the Little Princess Trust.
Oh, wow.
And what better could you do?
Wow.
If you have long hair, you decide to cut your hair.
Yeah.
And it was great. At that point, I think I had maybe 14 inches, I think the first one.
Yeah.
And the longer the better, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when I came across the Little Princess Trust, I was like, this is perfect. This is amazing. How wonderful this exists.
Yes.
So then it was absolutely no problem. There was no hesitation, no second thoughts. Like, I'm not only gonna prove my husband wrong.
Yeah.
I can help, a little child who's lost their hair. So.
And interestingly, I remember that reaction from you when I cut it the very first time you donated your hair.
Yeah.
What was the reaction from people that had known you all your life and only ever known you with long hair?
Well, they were shocked. Like, that was kind of my identity. I was the girl with the long dark hair.
Yeah.
And then it was suddenly I wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit scary for me.
Yeah.
But then, obviously you see people's reactions and it's like, wow, I could suit short hair too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. And I had never explored that, so it kind of opened a new door. Short hair, here we go. Ah!
Well, we are ready for the next cut. So, Chloe, your hair is all prepared, ready for the big chop. How are you feeling?
Really excited.
Are you? Can we do a high five? There we go. It's going to look amazing on you.
Go.
Right, okay, so the first chop starts here. Are we ready?
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
Wow!
That's your hair.
1,
Look
2,
at
3.
you.
Amazing.
Oh, yes.
So, Chloe, we've got 2 more ponytails to cut off. Why are you doing this?
To give it to people who don't have any hair.
Bless you. So, shall we do a high five? Yeah, well done for donating your hair to the Little Princess Trust. It's Mummy's turn now. Shall we get Mummy in the chair? What I want you to do is cut just above my fingers.
Can Sarah get this?
3, 2,
Sarah.
1, go! Chop!
That was quick! Wow!
Was quick.
Oh my gosh, that's my hair. Not often you get to cut hair.
Above my fingers. Slowly. 3, 2, 1, chop! Yay!
Wow!
Now
I'm
you're
so
gonna
cute! Go.
3, 2, 1, twirl!
What do you think?
And cut.
Olga, darling, my co-star, I have missed you so much today, but we've had a brilliant time on Split Ends filming with Chloe and Tara, and I can't wait to tell you more about it. She told us so much about using wigs for theatre performance, and she also told us something really powerful that stuck with me, that being on stage is all an illusion. So what do you think to that? Is it all an illusion? I love you, and I'm never filming Split Ends again without you. Bye, darling.